Hello, initiate. It's strange what people are afraid of. They will accept massive risks as long as those risks feel familiar. Debt, dependence, inflation, erosion. These dangers are normalized, so they no longer trigger fear. But ask someone to start small, almost insignificantly small, and suddenly hesitation appears. Not because the risk is high, because the meaning is. Small beginnings are uncomfortable because they remove excuses. When the step is tiny, you can no longer blame circumstances. You can't say, I didn't have enough. You can't say, it was too complicated. You can't say, I needed perfect timing. A minimal action exposes something deeper. Intent, and intent is harder to face than uncertainty. The majority prefers large, dramatic moves, or none at all. Why? Because large moves can be postponed indefinitely. They require preparation, approval, confidence. Small moves require honesty. They force a simple question. Am I actually choosing this, or just talking about it? Initiated ones understand this instinctively. They don't respect big gestures. They respect continuity. They know that systems are not entered by force, but by repetition. A small beginning doesn't impress anyone, and that's precisely why it works. No pressure, no performance, no audience, just alignment between thought and action. The majority wants actions that prove something. Initiated ones choose actions that change something, even if that change is invisible, especially if it is invisible. Because invisibility is protection. Nothing attracts attention. Nothing triggers resistance. Nothing invites interference. You move quietly. Learning accumulates. Familiarity grows. Fear dissolves. By the time others notice, the initiated are already comfortable, already positioned, already calm. The fear of starting small is really the fear of commitment without applause. No validation. No external reward, no social confirmation, just you and a decision. This is why the majority prefers theory. Theory allows endless discussion without personal exposure. But the moment theory becomes practice, identity is involved. You are no longer interested. You are participating, and participation changes how you see the world. You begin to notice patterns others ignore. You understand incentives differently. You stop asking what will happen and start asking how systems behave. This shift is irreversible. That is why small beginnings feel dangerous. They are not reversible psychologically. Once you start, you can't pretend you don't see anymore. Initiated ones don't seek comfort. They seek orientation, and orientation only comes after contact. That's why they don't wait for a dramatic entry point. They step in quietly, early, when the cost of being wrong is trivial. They don't want to be right. They want to be inside the flow, inside the logic, inside the time horizon. Because once you're inside, everything becomes clearer. Noise fades, opinions lose power. Fear becomes informational instead of paralyzing. The majority waits for certainty. Initiated ones understand that certainty is a byproduct of repetition. You don't gain confidence first and then act. You act and confidence follows. Small beginnings create that loop. Action arrow, feedback arrow, adjustment arrow, calm. No drama, just continuity. This is why initiated ones are difficult to stop. They don't depend on motivation. They don't depend on excitement. They depend on systems that function even when attention fades. Small beginnings are not about humility. They are about control. Control over pace. Control over learning. Control over exposure. Big risks remove control. Small risks preserve it. The majority confuses intensity with progress. Initiated ones measure progress by irreversibility. Once a habit is formed, once a pattern is established, once a system is entered, going back feels unnatural. That's the real threshold. Not money, not complexity, not timing. Identity shift. And identity shifts don't start with explosions. They start with something so small that no one takes it seriously, except you. Meanwhile, start with a Satoshi.